And certainly, as we saw on the last business day before the end of February, that free fall in silver was not normal market conditions. That was an engineered crash to protect a very elite crowd within the banking community. Somewhere down the road, there will be heads that will roll related to that. It's probably a couple of years. I mentioned, I think, with your audience and certainly with some other audiences, the fact that there had been these banking uh, internal documents, which I had viewed, related to a couple of the large banks back from December, where they had determined that silver by the end of the year, sometime after the end of the third quarter, would be somewhere around 420 in one of the documents. Uh, and in another bank, smaller, um, they speculated it could go as high as 1100. Um, that was a worst case scenario. The best case scenario was something around 420, 421. And that the fight over the next many months was going to be to slow the rate of increase in the value of silver while the banks were clearing their positions. They have taken speculative positions to try to tamp down the price of silver artificially and introduce paper silver, if you will. And that part of the concern is that President Trump had been directing the investigative entities within the banking system to let everybody know that an accounting is forthcoming concerning, uh, their positions. And you have to picture, uh, they have these positions with paper silver that they then, in a stress test, show as being a solid asset that allows them to loan out vast amounts of money against this solid asset. Well, it's just paper. And with the rising price of physical silver, it was a threat to their positions. So the internal documents were essentially the legal teams advising management that the regulators are coming. And if they don't want to be forced to liquidate their paper positions at huge losses that threatened ultimately to destroy some of the biggest banks in the world, that they had to unwind these positions. And certainly, as we saw on the last business day before the end of February, that free fall in silver was not normal market conditions. That was an engineered crash to protect a very elite crowd within the banking community. Somewhere down the road, there will be heads that will roll related to that. It's probably a couple of years. And it's not totally wrong. I can hear people, but I want justice now. Okay, well, I get it. But here's the problem. Um, Even in the midst of this huge reset within the global banking business monetary system, everybody in this audience is still able to go buy gas. They're still able to go to the grocery store and transact, go to a bank machine. As I've said, it's the most dangerous part of this whole process is maintaining hull speed for steerage. There's a certain speed below which, if you fall as a ship, you no longer maintaining enough forward momentum to steer the ship. And you can turn the wheel all you want, the rudder runs around, but it's not gliding through the water, and so there's nothing going past the rudder to turn it left or right or like that. You're just at the whim and will of the currents and the winds. And we're in a storm, and the storm isn't anywhere near as bad as it's going to get. People keep talking about, yeah, we're at the edge of the storm, but we're not in the worst of it by far. So in the midst of all of this, there is a responsibility in the course of resetting America and the world to maintain some type of flow and order in this transition period so that we don't kill millions, literally, with commerce not occurring, businesses not opening up. And if you unravel it too far, the ability to put it back together goes away from you.
We are at war, and we must unite in truth. Subscribe for free at johnmichaelchambers.com for my monthly communique, which includes alerts, warnings, announcements, and access to my most valuable resource network to help you to navigate this storm. With your free subscription, you will also receive a digital copy of one of my books, Trump and the Resurrection of America, an Amazon 5-star rated book and 6-star rated by the late Robert David Steele. Won't you join me as we take our country back and redirect humanity on this much-needed course correction? Remain informed, empowered, and connected, and subscribe today at johnmichaelchambers.com.